then, it was a really, really quiet town. There really wasn't much going on there.
It was a total cowboy town, and it was this mix between high country farmers and this sort of hippie sort of mountain adventure culture going on.
It was stunning. There was no one in the streets. All the car parks were all dirt.
It was a ride as much as you can, hitch up the mountain, smash our laps all day. You know, life was just about riding.
We skied together, we played together.
It was a big, big family.
Come with me. I'm about to take you on a rather exciting journey. It involves snow.
Here we are up at Triple Cone on the ridge looking down to the Tuki Valley. I've grown up in these mountains courtesy of some dirty ski bum parents that came here on a ski holiday in the 90s and never left. Always kind of wondered who the hell started all of this? Who were the first people to start skiing in these mountains? Back in the 60s, there was a mad old farmer there named Rod that looked up at these mountains and thought, oh, we could give this skiing thing a crack up there, I reckon.
The road up there was pretty full on.
And we had a fantastic sort of troop carrier to get us up the hill, but it was as good as a minibus. Essentially, 2 big bench seats at the back, which could take 12 people, often did, sometimes more if there were lots of small kids. Everyone was of a similar kind of nature, similar ilk. And it was a lot of these try anything, whatever works, sliding around on the mountain, however you do it, is having fun.
Another one of these dreamers that pushed the Wanaka ski story along was a young farm boy from West Wanaka, Paul Scaife.
When Paul Scaife set up Harris Mountains heli skiing in 1979, they had one helicopter dropping skiers on about 10 different runs.
And this is the ski lift at Wanaka. It's fast, efficient, and very scary.
Wicked day.
Lovely day out there.
Oh yeah.
It looks pretty deep.
The skiing's great.
And here we are, over 30 years later, with Harris Mountains heli ski still in operation.
In the Koura Ma Valley, near the southern Alps of New Zealand, a sheep rancher has turned his pasture into a playground.
I hereby open the Mount Koura Ma ski field.
There was some great people. It was a real pioneering spirit. Everyone, you know, that's at Koura Ma felt like they were part of something.
The Lees have just been an incredible part of who we are now. It's just kind of crazy when you look back and think that John knew what was going to happen here, because he must have. He must have had the most incredible vision.
Tried to tell them, never strike gold there.
Koura Ma gold. Huh?
Competition for tourist dollars runs hot. Globally, it's $1 billion business. But there's continuous pressure to provide bigger and better services for skiers.
Better conditions bring a sudden surge of newcomers. These are the people who, if they like what they see this time, may return with their families a few years from now.
You know they can move 6,000 gold miners an hour up that mountain. But if they don't strike gold at the top, the poor sods have to ski all the way down.
The people that choose to come to Wanaka are quite unique, and you see it in our community. It's quite colourful.
I think what makes this place really special is the natural beauty of it, and the fact that there's so few people here.
The community is so vibrant, everyone's so excited to ski.
You know, this is a small town, and so you do have to get out of town to appreciate what you do have here.
Growing up and being so immersed in the outdoors and in the mountains, you gain like a really deep appreciation for what they can offer.
If you come to ski in New Zealand, you gotta come to Treble Cone.
I think the first year I skied Treble Cone was 1977. Everybody knew everybody else, and we were all up here hooning around, just being silly ski bums.
Well, the ski bums existed, right? Ski bums were here. I came down in the mid-80s and was at Treble Cone. We were part of the New Action Fun crew. Sponsored by chocolate, beer, a vehicle, and we pretty much introduced mono skiing, not me. That was Henry Van Ash, and snowboarding to the masses. But I guess with surfing and skating, coming into the mountains, and the desire to do nothing but snowboard, there was that social welfare snowboard team, and I was definitely enlisted onto that one. So it was a ride as much as you can, hitch up the mountain, smash out laps all day, and you know, life was just about riding. And then at the end of the day, you kind of came down, and you and your mates would end up at the local pub. That was an interesting one.
Barrows was a place that everybody went to on Friday night. It was a really nice catch-up, especially the first 2 hours before people started, falling off their chairs and things. And at one point, they had ski competitions right in the parking lot. They hauled snow in there, and old Tony Harrington put together those comps.
It sticks to your name if you win, and it looks very good. So, yeah, to win this event would be a huge mark on anyone's career.
The World Heli Challenge has always been a very organic competition. It was basically an opportunity to get like-minded skiers and snowboarders from around the world together for 3 days of helicopter access competition. And we wanted to celebrate what was happening in the sport, and that was progression.
Back in the day, even before I started snowboarding, I was familiar with it because they would come and have the big air event in town. So as a youngster, we could watch that and sort of look up to a lot of our idols who came to hit that. So that was probably my first vivid memory of the event, was the big air, because it was so ruckus and raw back then.
Well, what do I think of extreme scan? Take a look down there, and that's what it's all about.
That's one of the best heli rides I've had.
That was filth. That was the buzz I needed.
Yeah, Harrow's just a visionary. He's really passionate about anything that he does. So at that time, that was a real big adventure to take on. The fact that he never let anything stop him. He had great, I think, rapport with the locals and was able to go ahead and make an amazing event.
Without those boys, step of faith to I'm gonna have a heli ski event where we're gonna fly all these riders around the mountains in helicopters, and we're gonna have a comp, bro.
We'll bring a 9-year-old.
You know how loose that sounds? Yeah, we're gonna bring this little 9-year-old and send them off the top, loose move, bro.
Yeah, loose move.
But and that event really established this place as one of the top places to come free ride in the world, and people have been coming back ever since.
In the Pisa Range, a cross-country skiing area up on the Pisa Range there, that opened up last Friday.
John, I am very pleased to formally declare the Wanaka Nordic ski area open to all.
Well, I guess it's another brainchild of Dad's, and he actually claims that he wanted to do this one first. But at the time, this land was a pastoral lease, and he saw that there are baby boomers. There's this element of the population that's going to get older, and eventually they're going to want to look for something less impact than alpine skiing. And to be honest, we're seeing the reality of that vision now with the growth in cross-country skiing in New Zealand and people looking for alternatives.
And then Parks started to arrive, and Parks was driven a little bit by the jib culture. And what happened, and it was quite visionary, is Sam Lee, John Lee's son, he started up a park on the other side of the valley called Snow Park.
What was being seen overseas wasn't here, and we just thought, well, why can't we do that? That sort of youthful, bold enthusiasm that you can do anything, when the reality is it's a lot harder than you expect. It was like holding onto the tail of a dragon, just along for the ride.
Absolute madness went on for a while. I'd say the world arrived in New Zealand, including like rally cars, snowmobile jumping, bands playing on the mountain, MTV turned up.
Shaun White filmed a bunch of his kind of first movie there. Travis Rice filmed a bunch of stuff there. I think Snowpark was definitely a big influence on the future snow sports athletes.
It was an era of phenomenal progression in the sport. What it did do is it motivated other resorts in the area, in particular us, to really start building what we build now, which is, you know, a big chunk of the mountain is covered in rails, jumps, and all kinds of different jib features.
Snowpark, I think, played a massive part in free skiing in Wanaka. All the big names would come down, and then nowadays with winter games, they all spend a lot of time down here, and I think that's to do with the competition and facilities we have. You know, you have like all the airbags and stuff up at Cardrona, and then you have the insane free riding at Treble Cone, and then combined with a bunch of friends skiing at each location, pushing each other is kind of like, that's what makes it like this really progressive place.
The scene in New Zealand's just boomed. Like, it's not like the small crew you know. There's all these other people you've not heard of or seen, and that's what's so cool about it. I think it's really hitting its straps now, and the depth of talent is just exponentially increased, and just to see everyone out there is amazing.
You can show people photos of this place and they're like, wow, it's so beautiful. But until you like sit on the top of a peak and look around and look down at lakes and then look up at like Alps, you're just like, oh, I get it, you know? But you can't describe it to anybody. And it doesn't matter what form of that. If it's skiing or it's snowboarding, it's touring or it's hiking up a mountain or it's riding a half pipe or doing a box run at Snowpark. Like, at the end of the day, we want to be on the mountain expressing ourselves and enjoying ourselves.